The thought of not coming home because of this means that I'm going to leave my family behind, and that scares me.
It's really taxing. You're having to face death every minute of your life.
I had no idea what I had. I was ready to give up, and Naomi said, "I'm not letting you give up."
Finding the diagnosis was absolutely everything.
Finally, something to call it, something to know, something that gives me hope. When I have a pancreatitis attack, it feels like I'm being crushed. The constant stabbing, excruciating pain. It starts in my abdomen and stabs right through to my back. I feel like I'm gonna die. I worry that I'm not gonna make it through it.
There's definitely a constant fear of when the next pancreatic attack is gonna come up. That fear has really given us the opportunity to enjoy every little morsel, every little giggle of the girls, every little new thing that they learn. We just live in that moment.
It's about my family, my wife and my 3 daughters. I don't want to not see them grow up. I mean, they're my life. I want to be around to see my daughters get married. I want to see them go to college or to do whatever they want to do. But when I lose hope, it's because I don't think I'm going to get to see those times. As I grew up, everybody said I had growing pains. My knees, my elbows, all my joints always ached.
He didn't realize that life wasn't supposed to be like that until he started dating me. And I'd ask him, like, "Has this been going on your whole life?" He's like, "Well, yeah." And I'm like, "That's not normal." At 18 is really when we became aware of his triglyceride levels and how high they were. We had some bad experiences, the way the doctors looked at him and treated him, because they looked at him and saw his size and didn't believe anything we'd say. They didn't believe how well he eat. They didn't believe anything.
Most of them said, "You're just fat, you need to lose weight. If you just exercised and stopped eating all kinds of junk food all the time, then you'd be fine." I started to believe that that was what was the problem. So I went on these diets to change my lifestyle, and they continued not to work. Once I started to have pancreatitis, started seeing an endocrinologist and GI doctors, still no results. Tried multiple drugs again. I continued to have pancreatitis. I continued to think I was gonna die. And the only one that continued to push and do research was Naomi. So she'd been doing research online.
And I thought, well, I've never looked up secondary causes of hyperlipidemia or hypertriglycemia. So I just plugged those in and up came this chylomicronemia. Clicked on it, and I was reading his medical records from failure to thrive, stunted growth, chronic diarrhea, abdominal pain, recurrent acute pancreatitis. For the first time in 15 years, I finally saw something that had his triglyceride range on it, because his triglyceride range is 1,500 to 3,000.
So we had blood work done and sent it off to the Mayo Clinic, and a week later, they said, "Your wife's diagnosis is right." The importance of a diagnosis for me is finally something to call it, something to know, something that gives me hope that with a diagnosis, eventually there's either going to be a cure or I can be part of a cure for someone else.
By putting a name to it and finding at least a path to begin on, it was less daunting of a task to live with it.
Most people, when I tell them that I eat less than 10 grams of fat a day, they said, "Oh, I could never do that." Well, when you have a wife like I do, you can, because she makes things worthwhile for me to eat. She makes me want to eat the food she's making.
So him having to eat less than 10 grams of fat is it would seem like a really big challenge, but it's been actually really fun because I've had to become really, really creative.
She develops this whole meal plan that really has helped me survive. I can truly say I feel like I owe my life to her.
This condition doesn't define him. That he is a firefighter, he is a dad, he is a manager, he is all of these things besides just this one thing that happened to him.
Finally, there was a light at the end of the tunnel. I may never see a cure in my lifetime, but that's okay, because now I have hope, and I didn't have hope before.